Hey y'all, Nico here. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thanks for joining me. I'm Nico. Today's video is another yoga pose tutorial video where I teach you how to get into some of yoga's most commonly used poses, and today we are working on bound angle pose or Baddha Konasana. So bound ankle pose is great for stretching the groin and stretching the hips. It can tend to be intense if you have really tight hips, but I will show you a couple modifications that will hopefully help you get into the pose a little bit easier. So let's start with our legs extended in a staff pose. Making sure we're on those sits bones, so we kind of pull the flesh from underneath us. And then we're going to bend at both knees, bringing the bottoms of the feet together. And while you're here, make sure your back is nice and tall. We want to open through the chest. We want to relax the shoulders away from the ears. We don't want to dump down into the hips. We don't want to round the spine. Nice posture always. And from here, go ahead and cup your feet and bring your thumbs on the insides of the soles of your feet, and then open your feet like a book. And you should already start to feel a stretch here. Now, if your hips are a little bit tighter, or if you have trouble with your posture, I can show you a couple of modifications. So the first one is you can get up against the wall. I'm just going to pretend like this is a wall. I'm not going to get too close because it'll fall. You can get up against the wall and just rest your back up against the wall to help you find a nice, tall, aligned posture. And then doing the same thing, bringing the fingers, the thumbs into the soles of the feet, opening the feet like a book. Making sure that chin is parallel to the floor. You can already feel a stretch in the hips. Now, if your hips are a little bit tight, you can take a pillow or a blanket or a rolled up towel or a block and bring it underneath the hips, giving you some elevation. And this will help you get into the pose a little bit easier. The height of whatever you have nearby or whatever you're choosing to sit on will depend on how much height you need. So it'll probably vary from person to person. And again, your thumbs are on the inside soles of your foot, and you open them up like a book, sitting nice and tall. Now, if you feel confident in your Baddha Konasana, you can always come down lower, keeping the spine long, and then your forearms can gently press into your legs, allowing for an even deeper stretch here. If you find Baddha Konasana to still be very intense, if you're sitting on a block or sitting on a pillow, a great thing to do is just scoot your feet out a little bit. Just scoot your feet out, and you can rest your hands on the ankles. Your hands don't have to cup the feet if they don't quite get there. You can rest your hands on the shins or rest your hands on the ankles and do the same thing, either sitting tall or lowering down. Another way you can modify is you can take blocks, say I had 2 blocks, and put 2 blocks underneath your knees for a little bit more support. Because the hips are tricky. You know, some people tend to have really tight hips. Some people tend to have more open hips, but it's a process trying to get your hips open when they're tight. And again, this is a great hip opener, a great groin stretch. And as you practice Baddha Konasana over time, hopefully your hips begin to open up a little bit more and make the pose a little easier for you. So leave a comment down below if there are other poses you want me to do a tutorial on. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching. Peace and love.